Hello, welcome to Burpee's gas station. How can I help you?
What's up, Slim? Can I have a Magnum Menthol Light, Cool 100 Light, and a pack of cigarettes of the Diamond Guy? But yet, don't worry about it.
What in the world did I just get myself into? Better yet, you know what? I don't need this job. I'm finna go elsewhere. This edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, man, we talk about history being made, coming on the heels of Evolution. WWE is going to make history again this Monday, and you won't believe what WWE announcer is going to guest commentate. Plus, we're going to have hot topics, Raw Ring Report, any Impact Ring Report, all this and more as an all-new Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello everyone, glad you joined us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix. Thanks for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. Use the hashtag PSW right here on Connect TV. Join in the conversation, like, share, comment, subscribe. We're going to be pushing this whole month of August to subscribe. If you like this show and you're viewing this show, please subscribe, support Connect TV, and we thank you, and we'll be grateful for you for your subscription and you subscribe. So glad you're here to join us. Let's get started with the Raw Ring Report. On the Raw Ring Report, and oh man, Raw kicked off with Roman Reigns, Kurt Angle, and Constable Corbin all in the ring for their segment after Roman Reigns had been ejected from the building last week when Brock Lesnar's presence was here, and plus Kurt Angle had got F5 by Brock, and as Constable Corbin looked on and backed away, and didn't want to be nowhere near Brock Lesnar. But Brock's wrath continued when he threw his longtime agent, his manager, his advocate Paul Heyman down to the ground, shoved him like he was just a piece of trash. Well, Heyman, speaking of that, well, we'll get to Heyman in the meantime. Well, Roman Reigns and Constable Corbin had an impromptu match, and Constable Corbin and Roman Reigns just throwing pot shots at each other about who this and who that. But at the end, Roman won. But the main story of this Raw Report was Paul Heyman feeling distraught, sad, upset, depressed on Brock Lesnar turning on him with this rage, with this feeling that he didn't need Heyman, and Heyman was the one that brought Brock to the WWE in the first place 15 years ago in 2002 after WrestleMania 18. And now Brock, after all the accolades of being WWE champion, King of the Ring, the Royal Rumble winner, main event WrestleMania after WrestleMania, becoming the Universal Champion as well. And Brock turns around and tells Paul Heyman, I just used you and got what I wanted out of you and move on. Paul Heyman felt a little bit distraught after he told Renee Young that we don't know where they go from here with Heyman and Lesnar. But then Renee Young asked an interesting question. Do she believes that Brock Lesnar's downfall is coming down at SummerSlam? And Heyman kind of had this sarcastic remark saying that Roman Reigns doesn't have a chance against Brock Lesnar. I don't know for sure because Brock has a lot of momentum. Can he be the UFC champion coming in next year and the Universal champion? Hey, time will tell on that. Speaking of time will tell this, that the long-awaited debut of Ronda Rousey's Raw debut. Ronda Rousey competing in WWE at WrestleMania. She competed in her first pay-per-view match at Money in the Bank, but she never had that Raw match, and she finally did so against Alicia Fox in the main event. And Ronda Rousey won the match, but she wants to get her hands on Alexa Bliss and after become the Raw Women's Champion. The title that Ronda Rousey came to get. She's going to get it from Nia Jax when she had the match. That's where the whole thing got started, Money in the Bank. And Nia Jax and her, the Raw Women's title, and Alexa Bliss came out of nowhere and cost both women becoming Raw Women's Champion. And she stole the belt. She'll do so, at SummerSlam. Well, that ends the Raw Ring Report. Let's move on to the SmackDown report. The SmackDown report. Man, AJ Styles returns after hearing Samoa Joe saying a lot about his family. But things did get personal after AJ Styles called out Joe and said Joe and him are from the same cloth. Speaking of TNA in a way, they all wrestle together. He knows his family. And why would Samoa Joe even do something like that to call issue to that? AJ said he's going to show Joe at SummerSlam, and they have their match, their first WWE match at SummerSlam. They've been wrestling before, but SummerSlam is quite different for the WWE and for its title. Because Samoa Joe walk out Brooklyn as the next WWE champion, or will AJ Styles keep his personal issues with Joe intact and defeat Samoa Joe to remain WWE champion? That's a hard pill to swallow. And I see that there's a lot of personal feuds going on SmackDown. Speaking of personal feuds, another personal feud, a long story feud that started way back in NXT in 2010. Now it's come to the forefront once again, while all this animosity builds up between The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wanted a piece of The Miz. The Miz was kind of refusing Daniel Bryan to not get a shot at him. But The Miz made another special announcement before he promoted his new show, Miz and Mrs. And Miz accepted Daniel Bryan's challenge at SummerSlam one-on-one. These two can finally settle the score between their personal vendetta and grudge between each other. So The Miz accepted the match. Daniel Bryan gets what he wants. But Daniel Bryan didn't take another step further after finding Miz and tries to attack Miz, but Miz snuck out like the coward he was and had his henchmen to do his work and hit Daniel Bryan from behind with a vase, trying to leave the scene, causing Daniel Bryan to chase him and follow. So it's going to be quite interesting to see at SummerSlam how these two superstars in their prime battle it out one-on-one. Speaking of one-on-one, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch might be having a little there's a tension between them because of Becky Lynch. I feel like Charlotte Flair's taking her spotlight, her end on the limelight. The team together against the Iconics. Good hard-fought matchup, but they won the match. But is there undertones, jealousy between Becky Lynch and Charlotte? Because Becky Lynch didn't want Charlotte to return as quick as she did. And then Charlotte wants to continue on this step of becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion once again. So there's a lot of underlying tension going on between those two women, but Charlotte trying to keep it cool, but I feel like Becky Lynch kind of like feeling the heat, feeling like she's being slighted like by Charlotte. And then Carmella in the mix, trying to put a wedge between the two. We'll see about that at SummerSlam. Also, finally, let's let them report the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament Finals between The Bar and The New Day. The winners meet the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It was a good, hard-fought matchup, but at the end, The Bar gave it all they can get. That's why they said they set the bar. The New Day pulled the victory and now will earn a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match against the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. But it's kind of like, ain't that been done before? And I don't know if it was New Day or the Usos. I think it was the Usos. I think it was the Tag Team Champions. I think it was the Usos. Well, we had to see, but I really wish that it was the Bar going against the Bludgeon Brothers, but then they're gonna set the bar back down to the Bar again. You know, they come up, and then I think the Bar would be better off on Raw. And it was high. Like a year ago, the Bar was tag team champions, and that's when their whole downfall went down. But they regained it back and forth with Ambrose and Rollins. So, you know, let's just hope WWE do right with the Bar. And, you know, if they don't, I know Sheamus WWE bound, but Sheamus can go to England because he's been in independent in England and stuff like that. But Cesaro, you know, he probably want to go back home and bring honor and apply his craft elsewhere. So I hope they don't get too that far because I want to see the Bar do well. I want to see them stay in WWE, but from a WWE point of view, let's go with the marketing and get tag team the New Day. And I'm happy for New Day, but it's just like, it's obvious. The Bludgeon Brothers going to win again. Let's just hope the Bar gets a championship title match down the road. So let's hope for that. All right. That does it for the SmackDown Report. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. But when we return, we're going to talk about Hot Topics, where WWE is set to make history, where a female announcer is about to make it history, sitting on the flagship show, plus injuries and plus a return of, you won't believe who. But we'll have this more when Pro Wrestling Show continues. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome to Berkeley's gas station. How can I help you?
What's up, Slim? Can I have a Magnum Midnight Light, Cool 100 Light, and a pack of cigarettes of the Diamond Guy? Better yet, don't worry about it.
What in the world did I just get myself into? Better yet, you know what? I don't need this job. I'm finna go elsewhere. Back to the Pro Wrestling Show. As always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us. Use the hashtag PSW right here on Connect TV right there. That little logo right there. Can't miss it. Glad you're here. Also, please, everybody, if you can, if you're watching this, subscribe to the channel. If you like content like the Pro Wrestling Show, where we talk about wrestling, we're wrong, we're involving, and we thank you. And then we're gonna have shows that's upcoming shows coming up. The Take returning later this month. The suit-based Take. With comedy, we need talking about, everything that's going around pop culture. That's why I Connect TV's tagline with social media meets entertainment, and that's what the Take is. With social media meets entertainment, all in one for the weekend, best week ever, pop culture timeline, and also the gaming world. Gaming Spotlight and Game Code return this October. You do not want to miss it. All these shows wrapping in one. While you're waiting for subscribe, and thank you for subscribing. And we continue on keeping forward, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you dealing. All right, let's move back. Let's get back on topic, then off topic. Let's move back to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, independent superstar Keith Lee makes his long-awaited debut in NXT. Keith Lee, the 6'2", almost 380-pounder who can do a phenomenal dropkick. Now, I got cousins that's huge and big. They can't do no dropkick like Keith Lee. And when I saw NXT, it was impressive. And Keith Lee's gonna be, like Mark Henry came in as that strong black African American that dominated the wrestling world. I think Keith Lee's gonna take his spot and take his place. the main roster. Watch when I tell you. Keith Lee's going to be doing that just about. Also, the Velveteen Dream and EC3 had their storyline where they was trying to encounter each other, confront each other, and EC3 had got the upper hand and threw Velveteen Dream to the pool, and Velveteen Dream felt speechless. Well, you know, this is the match everybody's been talking about, those two. So let's see what those two do in TakeOver within next week. And plus, also, we're going to have to predict the outcome for TakeOver for Thursday. We're going to have a special edition of the Pro Wrestling Show for TakeOver for Thursday. And on Friday, we're going to have SummerSlam. So we give you two, predict the outcome shows next week. Like I said, we're still going to talk about hot topics. If we can get in between those two shows, we're good. Let's go. We're going to probably split them in half and just go from there. Look for those two episodes coming up next week. All right. Also, did the HUD connection ruin WWE plans of bringing a women's tag team before WWE announced it? Now, it was followed on Instagram that WWE during the Instagram thing, the box hook made, you saw it. Bayley made reference to it, and now Sasha made reference to it too. But is there gonna be some severe punishment towards that? Knowing WWE, I bet they're gonna end the tournament and then they're gonna be in the first round. That's it. Now I want them to see, but they should have just their lips should have been sealed on that. You know, we don't know, and we don't let us speculate and let us sense the anticipation coming up through. All right. Jay Lethal appeared on Instagram, took the Instagram, and revealed that he's going to defend his Ring of Honor World title at the All In event. But in order for him to do so, he's going to have to wait and see. Speaking of wait and see, the All In pay-per-view will be screaming on Fight on that September 1st. Plus, the All In pre-show will be on WGN America, which that is, you know, I'm looking like, wow, WGN America? Wow. You know, WGN America is going to become the wrestling, we're going to be renamed Wrestling Great News America. WGN America. You ever thought WGN America would do a wrestling show? They done one before with WCW and WWE Superstars. So it's a good look. Is wrestling, could they be expanding wrestling, open up to wrestling more? You know, hey, they ain't got that much programming already, so they looking for anything to keep themselves stable and relevant these days. Establish sustainability. Also, WGN America also is going to be doing a new show called Ring Warriors, which will be held at the Sam's Town Casino in Sam's Town something in Las Vegas. And it's wrestlers such as Eli Drake, Austin Aries, Jay Briscoe, Jay Briscoe or something like that. I forgot that dude. He's a Briscoe. Alex Chamberlain, Morris Isaac, Alexander Hammerstone. Now, if you know these names are familiar because they started Paragon a couple of years ago. They was on the Pop Network and they was on some other network, YouTube America. Now they come to WGN America to get more exposure. And let's support that and let's see how far it goes with those names that I just mentioned. All right, Woken Matt Hardy teases retirement. Is this true? Woken Matt Hardy teasing retirement. There are reports that Woken Matt Hardy have something issue with his pelvic. So we wish Woken Matt Hardy success, but Matt Hardy will not be done with us. He's gonna find something to do. If he did the little thing he did in Impact, he's gonna find some work. I think he'll be a good producer or doing something with the matches and stuff. He got a creative mind, so I figure Matt Hardy will do something creative with his time when he decides to leave the ring for good. All right. Speaking of that, we forgot to mention last week that Kane, the Big Red Machine Kane, aka Glenn Jacobs, won the mayoral race to become mayor of Knoxville That's the third largest county in Tennessee, and that covers the University of Tennessee. It's almost close to Chattanooga and Nashville. And we congratulate Kane for winning the primary and winning to become an elected mayor-elect. And let's take a little interview of what Kane said during this speech. Take a look. There you go. Kane does it again. Kane is the new mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, and we congratulate him here on the Pro Wrestling Show on doing so. All right, speaking of doing so, WWE is keeping their eyes out and on the radar on talents that's in the independent scene that could be WWE bound. Now, we told you last week that Matt Riddle signed with WWE, and he will appear in NXT Brooklyn next week in the crowd. But WWE has their eyes out and interested in the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Felix. They wrestle in various companies, normally Impact Wrestling and Lucha Underground. Now, they will be a catch. Could you see them being the World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, and MLW? I meant to say, they are the MLW Tag Team Champions right now as we speak. But could you see them heading WWE and bringing that talent? But I know they wouldn't want Pentagon to do that arm thing. He do that arm bar thing. He breaks my arm. But I can see them being World Tag Team Champions. If I don't know what show, but I think SmackDown or Raw. Who knows? But I can see that. And also Shane Strickland, the new Evolve champion. He beat Matt Riddle because Matt Riddle kind of made that announcement he's going to WWE. They had to give it to Shane Strickland. So Shane Strickland is the new Evolve champion. He was a former MLW champion, and they got their eyes on Shane Strickland. Shane Strickland is a hybrid. He brings high flying, and he also competed in Lucha Underground as Kill Shot or something like that. Shane Strickland. If I was running our roster, I would want Shane Strickland in my roster. He's that good. He can make a lot of money in WWE. But I think he's content right now. But you never know. But then I don't know. I'm not being prejudging, but WWE ain't been doing too fair with their black wrestlers. Look at Lashley, for example. And you think Strickland going to get a shot like that? Let's hope WWE can be open-minded and give Strickland an opportunity if he's presenting himself. With Shelton Benjamin as well as R-Truth. Not being presented as well as the black wrestlers, but the black wrestling, Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews and everybody else. So they're likely on black wrestlers, but they're not too likely to get no black wrestlers the rocket and ship them. It's been a long time for a black man being champion. Booker T was kind of like the only one in Lashley, to be honest. But Shane Strickland, good talent. If I was on, I would get him immediately and say, hey, we're gonna build a secondary tie around you to build you up to become champion. So, hey, Shane Strickland. You got that out. Speaking of that, Maria Kanellis suffers an injury. She broke her arm again, and I'm like, okay, Maria, you did that in Impact. Now you broke your arm again. Now, this again, delay her return to WWE. Like it's kind of like it's not gonna help because Mike Bennett, he's a good wrestler, but he's not showcased enough on Raw, SmackDown. He's showcased on the main event. It's a C show, but Mike Bennett said, I'm happy. I'm kind of content. I'm working for the WWE. And a lot of fans saying you need to go back to where you came from, Ring of Honor and Impact, get more exposure. But Mike Bennett is happy where he's at, so we are happy for him. All right, and finally, Renee Young will fill in for Jonathan Coachman as Coachman goes on assignment to become the guest commentator on Raw throughout its entire show this Monday. Renee Young making history. She's already making history as being one of the commentators for the Million Classic along with Beth Phoenix and Michael Cole. Now she gets to join Michael Cole and apply those skills as her being a backstage interviewer and just start commentating. So that's good. And hey, anybody out there, if Renee Young gets that commentary spot, I'll take her spot and become a backstage interviewer. I'm good at listening. I'm good at, well, hey, you tell me what you want to tell me, and I go with that. But this is the first time in WWE history that Renee Young will do so as the first female to call a Raw throughout its entirety. All right. Let's move on to the Impact Report. The Impact Report this week. Man, Impact Wrestling kicked off with a brawl between the OGs and LAX. The brawl escalated from out of nowhere, with these two teams start beating the crap out of each other for their own intents and purposes. It still ain't over yet. But nothing on Impact stood out to me. Scarlett Bordeaux still being the smoke show, still trying to hold a press conference and do stuff, trying to have people fascinated with her, like KM and Fallon Bob. You know what to think, they had their tongues dried. Tessa Blanchard looking strong against Eddie Edwards' wife Alyssa. Tessa Blanchard, a future Knockouts champion down the road. I see it, I feel it, I know it's coming. I say around Bound for Glory time she'll get that title. That was quite it. And nothing else. The World Championship was on the line, and Elliot Conan issued a challenge to the OG gang. They accepted. So next week, Impact, Conan and the LAX against who, the OG gang with King. So that's gonna be good. Allie going against Su Yung. They're gonna put Allie back in title contention. And then Allie has she has business again with Tessa Blanchard. So I don't know how you're gonna infuse that, mix that in together. So no love lost between those two. That's quite it. And then Eli Drake against Joe Henry once again. I feel like they ought to put Eli Drake against somebody that's in his caliber, like Cage or something. I hope they can get to that point at Mount Glory and have them, because they both was teamed together as a tag team. Let's see how they fare in a match. That's why I would have had both. Haven't heard from Moose in a while. Saw Matt Sydal. He went against I forgot who Matt Sydal went. He was in action. I know that. And then the World Championship, good match. Austin Aries versus Eddie Edwards. Like I said, Eddie Edwards, Tom Dream passed torch to Eddie Edwards. Well, that happened. Edwards put up a valiant effort, but at the end, due to the interference of Killer Kross, Austin Aries is still world champion. So where do we go from here when Austin Aries is world champion? And does Austin Aries holds the keys to the Impact Kingdom for right now? And who can overthrow Austin Aries? Only person I can see and they pushing is Cage. Can Cage do what Aries used to do as Aries was the event on option C, cash in on Aries. That's the only obvious choice. And then I don't know. We this new partnership between Killer Kross, and Austin Aries is very, very intriguing to see and very interesting to know how this partnership is going to align itself, how this is going to be. Hey, we'll never find out, but we'll watch and see how this unfolds. All right, that does it for the Pro Wrestling Show. Glad you can join us here on this jam-packed 30-minute episode. I am so glad you all came and joined me. For me being Kendrick Dick saying so long, and we'll see you next time here on the Pro Wrestling Show.